okay. It's not on here. Oh. So Sunday Satsang, July 31st. Hari I teach. This is Hari I teach. Teach means third day and Hari means green. And also it's a festival of Hari with Radharani. This begins Julan Yatra in Brajmandal. It goes for 12 days from Tej until Purnima. It's called Rakhi Purnima. They call it Rakhi Purnima. It's called Shravan Purnima. So it's a great festival. Where's Radharani right now? Is she in Barsana or Yavat? Wrong. Where that's wrong. What's right? Barsani Wali Radharani ki. Jai. On Shravan Shukla Dvitiya, Radharani moves to Barsana from Yavat. Yesterday she moved. You didn't see her? You weren't there to help her move? Hey, bogus. You're sleeping as usual. Heavy sleeper. Sridham came with 10,000 cows to bribe Jatila to let her daughter-in-law go to spend 2.5 months living with her mother-in-law for June and Krishna's birthday, Radharani's birthday. It's the happiest time in all Brajmandal. All the trees for 2 months, they don't chant Radharani Radhe because Radharani's in Yavat. When Radharani's in Yavat, no trees are chanting, no Latta Patabi Bole Radhe, no, they're all shoot. They're all moan because Radharani's not happy. You're not happy in your mother-in-law's house. It's a fact. So Radharani is very, very dukhi in Javat Gram, which is near Nandagram, living with her so-called Hasanabhimanyu. But now all of Braj is very happy, and all of Braj became very green, everything became green, and everything got washed to welcome Radharani. It's a Raj Abhishek to welcome Radharani back to Barsana. Barsana Radhe, Barsana Radhe, Radha Radhe. So this is the happiest time in Brajmandal. Holy Krishna's birthday, Radharani's birthday, Balaram's birthday is Shukla Shasti, Bajram, 2 days for Radharani's birthday is Balaram's birthday, Brajmandal. Other people have a different idea. But Brajmandal, it's called Dauji Baladev Shasti. Or Chout, it's called Chout, Baladev Chout. Chout means 6. Chout. It's Chout, Chout, Chout. It's a 6 days, it's Chout, it's Brajvas or something. So we should all be very happy, Radharani's happy. She can go in our house with no permission, in out, come back late, go out early, no problem. But to Tila, it's a big problem to get out of the house. Krishna has to come inside the house decorated as a gopi, and Subal has to change dress to Radharani so she can get out, Subal Vesh. So many problems when she's in Yavat. Because in Kartik, she's in Yavat. In Gopasmi, Radharani's in Yavat. And Radharani can't get out of the house when she's in Yavat. So Krishna sends Subal, and Subal says he comes to Yavat, and Jatila knows that Subal is Krishna's best friend, so if Subal's there, it means Krishna's nearby. So Jatila's on the guard. She says, hey, what are you doing here? Oh, I lost my calf. My pet calf ran away. Okay, we'll look for him and get out of here. So then when Jatila was busy making cow dung patties, she was going that. And then Subal ran in the house. So Krishna's dying. He said, Radha Kunda, you have to get out. Just change clothes with me. So they changed clothes. Somehow or other, I don't know how they did that, but they did that. Let your imagination run wherever it goes. But anyway, they changed clothes. And Radharani dressed up as Subal Saka. It's called Subal Saka Vesh. And all the temples on Gopasmi and Vrindavan, Radharani's dressed as a cowherd boy. Radharani's dressed as a Saka in Kartik Gopastami. You seen? Maybe you've seen. You must have seen. All the Radharanis. She has a dun. She has a lagudi, a cow herding stick. She has a pugri, and her dhoti has a dhoti, and it's folded up in half above her knees. And, she's ready to go. Ready to cow herd. Beautiful darshan. So this is a festive time. Utsav. So any questions? Many souls here, many minds, many men, many ladies, many Bhauman, Bhau Prashna. No questions.
Actually, this is the verse 87 and 88 in Lila Kudumanchali, no? Where that is described, what you just said.
Verse 87, 88 describes Radharani's return to Varsana.
Yeah, 87 when we take the bath and she's crowned as a... No, 87, 88 is when he brings Sridham brings the cows for Chatila to get Radharani.
Yeah, that is the bribe time. Vrishabhana Maharaj has to bribe. Everything in India works on bribes. Everybody knows that from the beginning. Back from Krishna's time, you only get your work done by bribing. You have to bribe the in charge. So Radharani wants to go to Varsana, but she can't go there. But the only way to go there is if you bribe her mother-in-law. So how do you bribe her mother-in-law? Gives lots of gold and lots of cows, because they're gopas, they're gwals. So Vrishabhana Maharaj, King Vrishabhana, the father of Radharani, sends his son, Sridham, go to Yavad and bribe Jatila and get Radharani to come home for Julan Yatras. Every daughter goes to her house in Julan Yatra. And they tie ropes in the doorway of the house. They put a little piece of wood on all the girls and all the daughters and daughter-in-laws and everybody swinging on the jewel. It's a fun time. And everything's kind of died down. When cell phones became crazy in Brajmanda, all these traditional festivals started to decrease in popularity. Because I've been in this village, running up and down the street since 2000. I bought the property in 2000, started construction in 2002, finished 2004. So for 22 years, I'm going up and down the street. I'm living in Radha Kunda since 26 years. I was living in every Kartik in Gopal here, and I moved here. But we used to see in the street, they would set up jewels in front of everybody's house, in the doorway of everybody's house, and even across the street, they have a rope across the street, and the cars come. They wouldn't make. There's no cars in the street, you know. There's no. I never seen a car go down the street once. It's a quiet. Her street never, you know. It's a really quiet street, you know. Motorcycles come. So all the kids would swing on the street, and I don't see it the last 3 years because everyone's inside the phone. Everyone's looking at us, playing games on the phone and WhatsApp and Facebook and all this. Every little kid's got a smartphone. You know. Every Garib has a smartphone. Every poor kid has a smartphone. So all the nice festivals are going nash. But we still have it. We have 12 days at 6 o'clock every day for 12 days. It's Julan Yatra. We have Hindi bhajan. I didn't get him. I had to dig him out. And then we sing together and stuff. So, what's this question? I don't know what this question is. No question. What's this question? Question's finished. That's whatever. That's Haryawi teach file. Okay, Radhe Shyam, bolo.
Maharaj, question about we come from Tatastha Shakti, and the question if we have Swarup already, like in seed form, or we obtain Swarup somehow.
I miss what he's saying.
Swarupa, if we have Siddhanta in seed form, we have Swarupa, we obtain it. That's it.
What's the question? Srupa? Okay, what about Srupa?
It is Tattva question. Before Swarup revealed to us, Jiva has already Swarup.
No. There's no individual Srupa for any individual Jiva. There's unlimited. Krishna in 3:15-14 Bhagavatam says Vasanti Yatra Vaikunte, and Anushade number 10 Priti Sandarbha. Jiva Goswami comments on the verse. And the verse says that Vishnu Vaikunta or Krishna Goloka from his body expands unlimited spiritual forms, and one of those forms will be given to a liberated soul. It's not. This is Krishnadas from Russia's forms. Tag on it. Krishnadas Russia. This is Bhagavati Switzerland. Tag on it. You know, there's no name on the form. They're not named. They're not tagged. When it's revealed to you, or Krishna decides what one he wants to bring, he brings to you from the spiritual world, time of death, or in a dream, or whatever, or reveals in the mind of the Guru gives you. But when it's given by Krishna or given by Guru, then you know what it is. Otherwise, you don't know. It's not individually designated.
So before, like at the beginning, we have no like no manjari bhav, no sakya bhav,
no. No, where is it? Where is it? you're a condition. You're nitya kala and maya jagat, anadi avidya. Beginning of this time we've been here, and we've been beginninglessly in ignorance. That's why every single person in the world is extremely inquisitive. As soon as a person is born, they start asking questions. What's this? What's this? What's this? The questions never end until we die. And you learn so much. You know, Satsang is a big scholar, and every day he's studying so many books. He's a big scholar. You think he knows so much. 1,000 times more than we'll ever know. And still every day he's studying more. It's unlimited. Knowledge is unlimited. So we're inquisitive because we're stupid. We're born in ignorance. Anadi avidya. Beginningless ignorance. We have to figure out who we are, who is God, what is the 5 subjects of the Gita. They're the basic subjects of ontological reality, of spiritual truth. Jiva tava, Bhagavad tava, Kala tava, Prakriti tava, Karma tava. What is this world? What is God? Who am I? What is time? What is karma? That's the Gita tells all that. The commentaries. So we have to learn all that. So we don't know. We don't have nothing. It all comes from Krishna, by Krishna's arrangements or Guru or Krishna's Sakya arrangements. Is that clear?
So, for example, if our...
You're just a spot of consciousness. You're a spot of eternity. You're sat. You're sat. You're a spot of eternity. You have the ability to love Krishna and serve Krishna. That's inherent in your service.
For example, if we meet like Guru who is Sakha, we can become Sakha. If we meet Guru who is Manjari, we can become Manjari, like this.
Like that. That's right. That's how it works.
And
Guru can't give you what he doesn't have.
And can we change? For example, we meet Guru who is Sakha. After that, we meet Guru who is Manjari.
Well, you know, that depends on your taste. It's ruchi. It says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Jiva Goswami's commentary, he says, ruchi pradhan. He says the predominating factor that determines interest in Raga Bhakti is ruchi. What is your personal taste? The personal taste is kind of mysterious, how one has a taste for one thing or another thing. Maybe from last life. It's called, and there's a term in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 157 or something like that. First part, chapter 7, verse 5, whatever. It says, Gata samskara, means secret hidden samskaras, secret proclivities, interest in particular way of loving Krishna or serving Krishna. But that's due to culture, it's due to one's sabhava over many lifetimes, that people have different interests in different ways. So it's you know, you meet a guru in Sakiras, but you may not like what you might like that Sakiras and want to go elsewhere, and he'll direct you elsewhere. Your own ruchi will direct you to go elsewhere. First you have to find. At the beginning, you don't know what you are, who you are, what you're interested in. But as you get exposed to different things, certain things may trigger with you, may attract you. That's what the whole thing is explained in Bhakti Rasamrita, first part, chapter 2, verse 294, 296. It's all about Raga Bhakti. It says, how do you develop greed? Greed comes only by the mercy of Krishna or Raga Bhakti. So you read books by Raga Bhaktas, you read books, Rasa Nichalila books, Askalila books, and you get interested in some particular way of loving Krishna. That's your ruchi. That means you have greed for that. Then you follow that. You look for someone to teach you about that and guide you on that line of serving and loving Krishna. First you have to discover yourself. So most people don't have any idea. I met so many devotees over the year. I said, what's your idea of Krishna appeared before you? And said, how do you want to love me? You want to love me as a friend, a mother? Oh, I don't know. I just want to sell books, I want to sell books. I want to make paintings and sell and make money. I want to pay Ramakrishna and make money and live in Bali, Live in Maui, live in Bali, Bali. All the paradisical places, No one ever says I'm making Russian paintings so I can live in Siberia. You're paying all these paintings, making lakhs for every 2-3 lakhs for every painting. Why don't you live in Siberia? Why do you live in Bali? The weather is a little better. There's no beaches in Siberia. So find out what you're looking, it's like you say, I want to marry a girl. So first you say, what kind of girl I want to marry? So you have to think, well, there's a lot of different kind of girls. There's different color skinned girls. There's different nationalities. So you have to pick out one, and then looking at, India.com, you're looking for Indian lady, Russia.com, you're looking for Russian lady, Matrimonial Moscow, So you look there, you're from Moscow? Oh, Russian, oh. Are you tall and real skinny and tall? Yeah, I'm Russian, I'm real skinny and tall. Okay. That's what I want, a tall, skinny one. I'm tired of all these fat Punjabis, Tall, skinny one, 7 feet tall. Are you over 6 feet tall? Yeah, 6'4". Okay, good. So, you have to find your ruchi. Most people don't have. I met devotees for 25 years practicing bhakti sadhana, my godbrothers. I said, what's your idea of your stai-rati? I said, stai what? I had a sty in my eye one time. Sty is some kind of disease, sty, S-T-Y-E, sty, some eye infection. Stai-rati, no, not that kind of sty. What's the permanent way you want to love Krishna? You want to have Gopal, have a little Gopal, you want to be Mother Yashoda, Nanda. So you can become them, you can become like them. I'll tell you about. Who are you? What is your mood of love? Do you have one? I don't know. Let me look deeper. Radhe Sham. Thank you for your question. Any next questions? Swear was not even online yet.
I have a next question from my friend.
Okay.
She wants to ask how can she find a relationship with the holy name?
How can she find a relationship with the holy name? What does relationship mean? Relationship means, what does relationship mean? In Sanskrit it says sambandha, relationship. Relationship means you know the person. Nam is a person, Nam Prabhu. So you have to know the holy name, know who is the holy name, what is the holy name, where is the holy name, why the holy name. You have to know the person you're trying to get a relationship. Do you know anything about the name? Do you know anything about Nam Tattva? Know anything about Nam Mahima? No. Can you quote me one verse about the Mahima and name? No. Harinam, 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 and Kevalam. Okay, good. Can you quote me 10 more? Oh, no. So, who is the holy name? Is it a person? Is it just is it akshar? Is it just syllables or akshar? Is it a person? Who is the holy name? And who am I, and what is our relationship? Relationship means what is Nam Prabhu supposed to do for me? What am I supposed to do for him? So he's called Nam Prabhu. I'm not called Nam Prabhu. I'm called Nam Das, Nam Dasi. Holy name is called Nam Prabhu. It's masculine. And Prabhu means master. You're not the master. You think you are. You're the dasi. So you're Nam Dasi. So it means you're supposed to serve the master. So what does the master Nam Prabhu say to you? You want a relationship with me? You say, yeah. You want to be my servant? Yeah. So then you ask, what service to do? Chant. Chant 64 rounds a day. Okay, what else? Chant. You're done? Yeah, it only took me 6 hours. Okay, good. Now read Bhagavatam, 10th canto, with commentaries. Like that. So the name you develop a relationship with the name is Krishna, and Krishna will guide you and tell you what to do. There's a verse from Gita, 10:10 Gita. Tesham sadhata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yena mama bhuyanti te. 10:10 Gita. Krishna says, those who are always worshiping me and loving me and serving me, I give them booty. I give them booty by which they can come to me. Without intelligence, you can't find your way out of the house. If you're in a burning house and you don't know where the door is, you need intelligence to know where the exit door is. Buddhi Bhava Samamvita. Krishna gives intelligence. It's upayanti, so we can go to Krishna. So you have a name, if you have a relationship with name, you'll serve the holy name. You'll preach the glories of your Prabhu. You'll preach the glories of your Prabhu. You'll serve your Prabhu by chanting, and always glorifying Nam Prabhu, and always reading about Nam Prabhu, and becoming a pure devotee of Krishna and Nam. That's how the relationship.
Thank you very much.
Tell me a verse in glorification of holy name. Well, that's a long one. Bhagavata. What's the meaning?
The person who was chanting your name has qualified all Brahman qualification, has done all yagyas. So even if he's born out of dog caste, Pachato.
A dog. It means born a dog.
Yes.
I was born a dog. But now I can say Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Keep going.
Yes. So he's qualified enough to chant your name, and he is eligible to cross the material nature.
That's good. Krishna Chakravarti gives a commentary on that verse also. He said such a person, even if he's born in a dog-eater family, he's qualified to be a Diksha Guru. Even of Brahmins. Because the Vaishnava Diksha Guru, Vishnu's commentary, even a dog eater. So that's the power of the holy name. Transformation power. Turns bell metal into gold. Another verse, please. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purnashuna Chuta Binatam Nama Nama No. What does it mean?
Holy name is Chintamani.
Which means what? Chintamani means what?
It is.
Right.
It's fulfilling. It is all fulfilling.
Chintamani means wish fulfilling gem. Chintamani money. Chintamani means chinta means thoughts. Whatever you're thinking, the holy name will fulfill that. You're thinking of a Russian girl, you'll get a Russian girl. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, Russian girl, okay, I know. I was just thinking of you. Why were you thinking of Krishna? Why were you thinking of Navaru? Oh, sorry about that. So you're thinking of Nam is a Chintamani. It's like Aladdin's lamp. You rub the Aladdin's lamp and the genie comes out, fills your wishes. So what else? Nam is Chintamani.
Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. It has a form full of rasa and Chaitanya, full of consciousness. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha.
It's full of life. If you chant Hare Krishna, you become alive. Dead man comes to life by chanting Hare Krishna. There's numerous accounts in the Saints of Braj book, biography of great Bengali Gaudiya Vaisnava saints. Somebody died and they were on a funeral pyre about to be burned up. And they called the Guru and said, this lady died and she's pronounced dead, she's going to get burned up. He said, wait a minute, I had to establish the mercy of Nityananda Kripa. So I went there and said, Nitai Utoto. The lady shut up. I said, Jai Gurudev. And she over pronounced. And she got out the funeral pyre and started dancing in kirtan. Funeral pyre. So the power of Nitai Kripa. She was supposed to get burned up. A miraculous story. So, oh, this wasn't on. That would be nice if it was on, wasn't it? Oh, that's just off the road. Okay, thank you. Okay, now another question. Radhe Sham. Yeah, Baba.
Is there any pastime stories about why Radha's father got to marry the Abhimanyu? I mean, is there some reason behind that? Because it's very perplexing. Because even Kirtida was favorable towards Krishna.
Excuse me?
Radha's father got her married to Abhimanyu.
Yeah.
Radha's mother was favorable towards Krishna because she's friends with Yashoda. So how on earth did this happen, this marriage?
The question is, how on earth did it happen? How on heaven did it happen also? How on earth, how it's subterranean Pataloka, how on earth did it happen that Vrishabhara Maharaj and Kirtida agreed to give their daughter to Abhimanyu? The name Abhimanyu means one that's always angry. Abhimanyu means always angry. So that's not a good choice of a husband. I haven't read any story about that. There must be some story in Braj Mandal around among sadhus. The Indian Bargi sadhus know such stories because they've been in Braj Mandal for 1,000 years. They know all kinds of far-off stories. I can tell, let me ask you a question. Because you're speaking about Radharani, so I'll ask you a question. How did Radharani get the name? Because Rani, how did she become known as Radharani? And why does every living entity in Vrindavan chant Radhe Radhe? Every lata, and every pata, and every turtle. You forgot? You were there, Dingbat. Hello? You were sleeping that day? So what's the answer? We went on Yasta Sekha Yatra the other day with one of our friends, Sachinandan Baba, and he's been hanging around Vrindavan for about 15 years, living in Barsana, Unchagaon, and other places. He has an apartment in Vrindavan. He has an apartment in Unchagaon also. He's a Baba, and he's a Brahmin. He's a real great devotee, and he knows everything about the Asasekis, and hears all kinds of stories from Brajvasis, which are known as Mahajanvani. It's called Lok Parampara. It comes down like some Brajvasi Brahmin or Pandit will tell a story. You say, where is that? It's Angarga Samhita, where is it? No, I heard from my father. He asked his father where he heard. I heard from my grandfather. That is grandfather. It comes down since time immemorial. So this is called Lok Parampara, or the voice of the people, folklore. And then a book by Rupa Goswami Radhakrishna Shipika, he says this is one of the sources of his information in the book. Is stories from the local Pandits and Brahmins. It's right there in verse 4 or 5 of the book, of the Mangal Charan. He describes the source of the information in this book comes from Agamas and Puranas, and also books written by contemporary Vaishnavas of 500 years ago, and also what I've heard from different village chiefs and village Brahmins. Rupa Goswami accepted them as authority. So this story is bona fide. There's two words we begin with B. One is bona fide, one's bogus. So make sure it's V-O. V-O is also there, V-O-N instead of V-O-G. V-O-G-U-S is bogus, V-O-N. So that's the story. The question is, how did Radharani get the name Radharani? And why is everybody, every turtle, every parrot, everyone chants Radharani? Vrindavan mein lata patabi bole Shri Radhe Radhe, Yamuna bi leheri Shri Radha, Nidhivan mein bandar bole, Nidhivan mein bandar bole Shri Radha Radha. And Nidhivan, the bandar is the monkeys are chanting. So here's how it goes. It was Uttara Gosta Leela, which is 3:36 to 6 p.m. every day. Krishna brings all the cows back from pasturing ground. So this time he was on the east side of Vrindavan, towards Vrindavan, like what we call Vrindavan side. So he passed through Barsana to go to Nanagram. So all the cowherd boys, Subal, Balaram, all the cows were going first, all the cowherd boys, and Krishna was going last. Because he has something in his mind, He goes real slow, and they say, hurry up, hurry up, oh, I'm tired. Okay, you go, you know your way. Boys don't worry about other boys. You're with some boy. Like once I was in Jaipur on a yatra, and one guy was a real slow guy, and he was always slow for the car. We go to one place, and I say, okay, meet back here. We go. If you get lost, meet back here by 1 o'clock. So he wasn't back there. There was 8 people in the car, and he said, he's not here. I said, I told him here at the time. He's not here. Oh, well, come on, he's our friend, he's our brother. I said, I don't care, I'm leaving, I'm from America. So he left right on time. Because we were going back to Delhi, he missed the car back to Delhi, to Jaipur. I told him, because the whole day he was late every time, He was late, because we went to Kanak Vrindavan, we went all over the place, different places in Jaipur. Surya Mandir, Kanak Vrindavan, Galta, all different places. So he was late, so he got a bus back to Delhi. Everybody cursed me like anything. So it doesn't help to be punctual in India, you get in trouble. Being punctual in India, you get a bad name, So Krishna was going, everybody went, and then Krishna was the only one there. And Krishna was passing in Barsana, and the gopis stopped him and said, wait a minute. We heard your name is Natavar. You're a great dancer. We want to see you dance. He said, you saw me last night. I was dancing around. Last night was a yuga ago. Don't you know the verse? Yugayitam yameshina chakrisavrishayitam shunyasam jesram govinda. 1 minute without you is like a yuga. So it's been a yuga since last night's rasa dance. We forgot how you dance. So he shows us, so you forgot how to dance? Lalita said, because Maharaj said, please dance for us. And they said, he's giving these excuses. Then Lalita cut in and said, well, you forgot how to dance, huh? So we're going to take that name Natavar back from you. That's a bogus name. You're not 1,008 names anymore, 1,007. No, I'm Natavar. Don't take my name away. Well, show how you dance. So he started dancing. He was like going crazy, just swinging and dancing. Gopis were playing, Veena and Pakawaj and Mridanga and Esraj and flutes and triangles and cardels and everything. And he kept dancing and dancing. And all the cowherd boys went back on the ground and Balaram on everybody. He shouts, where's Lala? Oh, Lala. The gopis caught him by the ear and they got him dancing like a monkey with a music grinder. The guy has a monkey on a chain. He has a little music box. He turns a crank and goes da 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 da. And the monkey goes da 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 da. The monkey goes dance around. And they throw him 5 peanuts. So they have him dancing like a dancing monkey at Koshi gas station. What? He's so tired. He's been out 9 hours herding cows, and we want Mohini. We got to bathe him and dress him and feed him. And what is this? Nanavar was asking, "What you guys? Why'd you left him?" Oh, he's a big boy. What do we care about him? He can take care of himself. I mean, come on, he killed Ristasura, Putana, Agasura. What are we worried about him for? We're more worried about us. It's getting dark. We're afraid of the dark. He's not afraid of the dark. He's running out all night everywhere in the dark. So Yashoda went back there and saw Krishna's dancing, and their gopis were oblivious thing. They didn't even see Yashoda. Otherwise, if they saw Yashoda, they would have offered respects. And they was just like, Krishna, oh, they're all going crazy. And then somebody said, Lalita saw her and said, hey, Yashoda's here. Huh? What? Look. Oh, Krishna, stop. Krishna, stop. Everybody got quiet. And then, my mother's here. My mother sees me dancing like I'm a slave to all these gopis. I'm a hired dancer or something. And he said, what are you doing to my Krishna? And then Radharani says, "This is not Krishna. This is our beloved. This is our lover." What do you mean? This is my Krishna. Look, he's got blue nose and blue ears, a beautiful smile, long hair, and puggery and peacock. Well, that's Krishna. Look, he's got the lagudi, he's got a cowering stick and a flute tucked in the right hand side of his dhoti. That's chandan. I put that chandan on myself. That's Krishna. Yashoda, this is not Krishna. This is Shyam Sundar. This is our beloved Shyam Sundar. Huh? And she's like really bewildered. What's going on? What do you? No, Radharani, Yashoda looked at Radharani because Radharani never lies. She looked at Lita, but she lies half the time. So she didn't trust Lita. So she looked at Vishaka and she looked everywhere, and they all said, "This is Shyam Krishna. These must be another." And Radharani, then Yashoda looked at Radharani. Where do you know where Krishna? He must be in his bed sleeping. He went, all the cowboys went by here 2 hours ago. You didn't see him? I didn't see him. Oh, go see. So Yashoda went back to Nandagram, and she went in Krishna's bedroom, and Krishna he was sleeping very nicely. Big smile on his face because he was dreaming of Radharani. Swapna Vilas Amritam. Swapna Vilas Amritam. Meeting Radharani in a dream, so he was really smiling. So they wake up, Krishna, wake up. What? There's a guy, the boy looks just like you in Barsana, he's dancing crazy. The gopis are clapping their hands, and he's dancing like a madman. You're not the bar, and they say that's Shyam Sundar, he's not the bar. But I always called you not the bar. I've seen you dance, you're the best dancer in the world, in the whole universe. Why don't you go challenge that other guy? Okay, let's go. So Yashoda takes Krishna back to Barsana, holds his hand, and says, "Here's my Krishna." And the gopis, they didn't even notice Yashoda again, they didn't notice her. They're just dancing, Shyam Sundar's dancing and they're clapping. And then finally Krishna, they notice, oh, there's Yashoda, Krishna's there. So they stop, and Yashoda says, "This is my son Krishna. I want to see who can dance better. Your beloved Shyam Sundar or my son Krishna? Who's a better dancer?" "Okay, go ahead. You guys challenge each other. Krishna versus Shyam Sundar. Dance competition. All India dance competition. Wearing yellow trunks and blue skin, Krishna. Wearing yellow trunks and blue skin, Shyam Sundar." So they started dancing, crazy dancing. Really, they couldn't tell who was better. So then they couldn't judge. They're spinning, so they sometimes embrace and sometimes go behind each other, in front of each other, spin around. And they said, "Well, we can't. How are we going to judge who's better? We can't keep track of who's who. They look so the same." So they said, "Stop." They stopped. So look, we have to tell one from the other. So Radharani said, "Okay, well, on our beloved Shyam Sundar, we'll put chandan on his forehead. We'll cover his forehead with chandan, sandalwood paste, and your Krishna no sandalwood paste." So now we'll know the difference. Our Shyam, there's one blue guy with chandan, another guy with nothing. So they started dancing crazy. So then one time they embraced. They're both embracing and dancing, like spinning around. All of a sudden, Krishna disappeared. He merged in the body of Shyam Sundar. Yashoda was, what? Where's my Krishna? Krishna gone. She was going crazy with distress and anxiety and unhappiness. Where's my Krishna? So I don't know. They were both embracing, and all of a sudden Krishna disappeared. And Lita said, "I think he's embarrassed. He ran away. He got embarrassed because our Shyam Sundar is dancing much better than your son Krishna." No, he wouldn't run. He's not going to run away from competition. He's not that kind of guy. He didn't run away from Putin. He didn't run away from Agasura. Didn't run away from Srinivasa. Didn't run away from Chakasura. Didn't run away from Bhagasura. Didn't run away from Kalia. What are you talking about? Well, you know, those guys are nothing compared to Shama Sundar. And so your Krishna is a pipsqueak, you know. He couldn't match our Shama Sundar. No, so Yashoda's crying and everything. What am I going to do? How can I go and face Nanda when he comes in the dining room tonight? Sit down and says, "Where's Krishna?" There's no Krishna. He disappeared. What am I going to say to my husband? And say, what? How did he disappear? so then, who are we? Yashoda said, listen, Radharani, I'm the queen of Brajmanda. I'm Brajeshri. I'm Brajeshri. I'm the queen, and king is my husband, Nanda Baba. So I take a sankalpa. I promise that if you can relocate my Krishna, I'll turn the whole Brajmanda over to you. The whole kingdom, all the people, all the animals, everything. You'll be the queen of the entire Vrindavan. And then you'll become Rani, because up until now you're only known as Vrishabhananandi and Radharani. Radharani, Radhe, and Vrishabhananandi. So now you'll be a Rani. Like I'm Yashoda Rani, because I'm the queen. But I won't be Yashoda Rani, but I'll just be Yashoda Devi. And you'll become the new Rani of Vrindavan, Radha Rani. Okay. So then she said, let me talk to all the Sakhis. So all the Sakhis got together. And they huddled together. They pretended they were trying to talk with his face. Like they're faking out. They're faking out Yashoda. So she just sat there, crying. They said, look, we discovered all the gopis got together. And there's Tungavidya Sakhi, our Tungavidya Sakhi, she's a tantric, she knows all the arts, she knows 18 different sciences. So she can tell the future, past, present, she's a great Jyotishi. So she went into meditation, she saw that your son is in his bedroom sleeping. So then Yashoda said, really? Is it true? Yes, it's true. If that's true, if I go to Radharani, you Sakhis and Radharani, you come with me. If it's true, now from today on you'll become Radharani. So they all went to Nandagram. They all went to Krishna's bedroom and opened the door. And Krishna was out sleeping, a big smile on his face. Because Krishna's in the heart of every jiva. Antaryami, Krishna's gone inside every jiva as Paramatma. So he heard the whole conversation between the Sakhis and Yashoda. So he had a big smile at this whole great Leela Yogamaya arranged. So he said, and Yashoda lifted up the sheet and touched Krishna's body, his face, and smelled his head and pinched his cheek and smelled him. Yeah, it smells like Krishna. And kissed his forehead. It feels like Krishna. Held him to her breast. Yeah, it's just Krishna. Oh, Radharani. And then Yashoda embraced Radharani. Okay, from now on you're Rani. You're Radharani. You're the Rani of all Brajmanda. So, in Brajmanda, if you tell, like we used to say, you want to keep a secret, don't tell a woman. Because in the old days, there was no mobiles. There was telegram. You could send a telegram. There was telephone. And the third way for rapid communication is tell a woman. Tell a woman is faster than telegram and Instagram and mobile and email. Tell a woman. And the way to get it straight fast, this is ultra secret. Don't tell, promise, you're my best friend my whole life. Cross your fingers and promise you won't tell. Oh no, I won't tell anybody. And then 5 minutes later, you go, guess what? So, with that, when 5 minutes, all Brajmanda knew that Radharani, the Shodharani is not the Rani anymore of Vrindavan. Radharani is the Rani. So everyone in Vrindavan heard Radharani's the new queen. So they all started chanting, Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe. So this is a Leela that describes how everybody in Vrindavan is chanting Radha Radha Radha, how it started, and how Radharani got the name Radharani. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. So, is that a good story? That was one of the whole day of stories. I don't remember. That's the only one that I remember. I like that. It stuck in my mind. When I came back from that yatra, I was so excited. I called up somebody in England, one of my students, my disciples in England. It was late in the night. I said, I don't know what time it is, so I want to tell you Leela. I said, yeah, it's late. Anyway, you want to hear Leela? Okay. So they were like, wow, they were next to you. I said, I won't be able to sleep anymore after that Leela. I just called them up. I just got inspired, share the Leela. They liked it. Surprise. So questions? Yeah.
What is the nature of Vishaka Sakhi? Anything like her nature, her disposition?
Her nature and disposition. What is the nature and disposition of Vishaka? We heard an interesting explanation of the name Vishaka the other day from Satchidananda Baba. Remember what he said?
She's a very special Sakha.
He said Vishaka means means without branch. There's no branch, but actually means she's a Vishesh Sakhi. Vishesh means Vishesh means exceptional, extraordinary, exceptional. So she's a Vishesh Sakhi. What makes her so special? You asked a question, I answered, now I'll ask you a question. My turn. What makes Vishaka so special?
She's very similar to Srimati Radha.
She's born the same day as Radharani, born the same time as Radharani, has the same complexion as Radharani, looks exactly like Radharani, has the same swabhava as Radharani. Dhira Madhya, what do you say? Dhira Madhya, Adyantika, Adhika, Dhira Madhya. That guy knows usually the money inside out, He says she's Adyantika, Adyantik, Adik, Dhira Madhya Nayaka, heroine, to be specific. Dhira Madhya, there's Bhamya, Madhya, and Mridu. Madhya is in the middle, Mridu means soft, and Bhamya means contrary, hard, contrary. So she's Dhira Madhya. Vishaka is Dhira Madhya. And she's the dearmost friend of Radharani. Lalita's the boss, everybody's the boss to Lalita. Radharani's boss to Lalita, Krishna's boss to Lalita, Vishaka's boss, everyone's boss to Lalita. But Vishaka's a friend, best friend. And her chief Sakhi is Tulsi Manjari, Raghunath Das Goswami. So because Vishaka is the best friend of Radharani, therefore Vishaka's servants become the best friends of Radharani. So Vishaka is your Yuteshwari, you become very close to Radharani. If Lalita is your Yuteshwari, you become very close to Krishna. Not so good. They're also close to Radharani, but not as close. There's a certain pride among Sakhis, Man, it's called Man. Saubhagyaman. Saubhagyaman. Pride of our good fortune. Saubhagya. That's all. Any more questions? Pass this back to that nutty-looking lady in the back. She's a nutty, you're becoming a nutty lady. They're doing a very nice seva. It's getting better all the time, more and more getting almost to the point of burn, but not. That's how to do it. I always go too far and burn them. You make them golden color. It's very nice. I'm very happy. Giraj is very happy. Thank you. Radhe Shyam. No, I'm tired of your question. Shivanji.
Maharaj, in 11th canto 6th chapter, Uddhav is praying to Krishna that just by decorating ourselves with a garland which has
Yeah, that's a famous verse.
yes, which is offered to you, and the person is eligible to cross your material nature. But in temples, Maharaj, we sometimes see that pujaris are offering the malas to the people who are visiting to have a darshan of the deities. And after a few years also we are seeing that those people who are getting the malas are still engaged in the material activities and they are getting more and more material maybe. So how do we relate that? Because in some of my acquaintances, some people are regularly visiting some temples, and from past 20 years they are just more inclined to the material energy only. They're just more inclined to sense gratification. They don't want to discuss about Krishna. They don't want to listen about any kathas.
Yeah, okay. The question is, in 11th canto and other Puranas, many places, it describes the extraordinary power of the transcendental vastu, the transcendental objects. Krishna's prasad, Krishna's amala, anything related to Krishna has tremendous power to change a person's whole life. Just by the four Kumaras were Gyanis, and they smelled the Tulsi, Charan Tulsi from Vishnu's feet when they came to Vaikuntha, and they became bhaktas. So it's just by smelling the Charan Tulsi from the feet. So the truth is, the Shastras are always true, but the eligibility of the person, how that effect or how that benediction or power is going to manifest depends on the patra, depends on the receptacle. They're getting so much credit for all these spiritual things they do. They're taking darshan, that's spiritual. There's so many verses in Puranas say, just for having darshan of Krishna, all your material sins are finished. So that's true, they should take darshan, but they take darshan and go to Whiskey Bar in Delhi next night. So what, Friday night they see Bhakti Vihari, Saturday night they're dancing at disco and drinking whiskey. So, but they get the credit for that, it sticks in their sanskara. And it'll take its effect in time when they're eligible. Everything is true and powerful, but there are certain conditions, terms and conditions, when the power manifests itself. Sometimes it's instantaneous. Many examples of instantaneous results also. This King Khatvanga, it's in Bhakti, King Khatvanga was a celestial king in Swarga. He was an enjoyer like anything. And he met Narada Muni. He said, how long do I live? Because I'm a young man. He said, you're going to die in 5 seconds. I'm going to die in 5 seconds. Let me out of the Swarga. Let me go to the earth. So he went to the earth and did bhajan. For 5 seconds, the last 5 seconds of life, did bhajan and got liberated. King Khatvanga. 5-second liberation. Download the app today. 5sec.com. Panchsec.com. 5-second liberation. Download the app today. You get the app. Start chanting Hari Krishna mantra. If you're lucky, maybe we'll chant Shuddhanam and you get liberated. Okay. Are you? Yeah, I'll do the same. Let's just chant. No, Navasi. Maybe it was Navasi got liberated. Okay, I have a question. It was asked to me by someone. He said, what is your conception of the holy name when you chant the Hare Krishna mantra? What is your mantra art? As described in Shastra, when you chant the Maha mantra, any mantra, you must chant while meditating on the meaning of the holy name. Art means the meaning, R-A-R-T-H-A, art means the meaning of the holy name, called mantra art. So technically, the term is mantra art chintana. You should chintan, you should meditate and think about the meaning of the mantra you're chanting. Not just and not knowing what does it mean, who is it, what does it mean, what does it mean to me, what does it mean. So, person asks me, what's the meaning of the mantra? according to your Vaita Parivar. So I can't speak on behalf of the whole Vaita Parivar, but I can speak on behalf of my spiritual master, who is in the Vaita Parivar, and what I talked to him personally about this thing. And this is a conclusion, this is a conception of the holy name that's taught by Anantadas Babaji to all the followers of Nityananda Parivar that are disciples of Anantadas in Radha Kunda and surrounding areas in Bengal, Assam, and everywhere else. So the conception is generally presented the holy name. Holy name is Yugo. It means Radha and Krishna. Hare means Radharani and Krishna Ram. Krishna means Krishna and Ram means Radha Raman. Means Radha Raman, like the name of Radha Raman means the lover, the amorous lover of Radharani. And Hare means Radharani. So generally the meaning of the holy name is Yugal Nam, it means Radha and Krishna. However, Raghunath Das Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who are most rasic Jans, two of the most rasic Jans, Rasik Acharyas and Gaudiya Sampradaya, they give a different conception of the holy name. And their conception is revealed, it's attributed, there's one explanation of the Maha Mantra given, said Vishwanath Chakravarti's name is on it, and there's another one by Raghunath Das, and his name is on it. And it comes in a Bengali songbook called Padakalpatru. But there's some doubts about the authenticity of the authorship of these mantra arts. Because first of all, Raghunath Das Vishwanath only wrote in Sanskrit. And these explanations are in Bengali. And secondly, these prayers are not mentioned in any of the writings. The collected writings of Vishwanath, they're all known, well known, and all the names are there of the books and poetry he wrote, and also Raghunath Das. It's called Savavali. And Mukta Charita and Teli Chintamani, there's a few extra ones. It's all by Raghunath Das Goswami. So it's probably they didn't write it, but somebody wrote it, some Gaudiya Vaisnava wrote it and put their name on it. So now, do we accept this or we don't accept this? So Lord Chaitanya, in Antilila Chaitanya Charitamrita, he gave two criterions for deciding whether some philosophy or tattva is to be accepted or rejected. One is, does it meet these two categories? Is it Siddhanta Virud, and is it Rasabhas? Is it Rasabhas means it's a wrong mixture of rasas, wrong mixture of transcendental loving mellows, rasas, ecstatic feelings of love. Wrong mixture, that's called Rasabhas. Sabhas means mixture, wrong mixture. And Siddhanta Virud means enemy. Virud means against the Siddhanta. It's wrong Siddhanta. So this is right in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a sloka. If anything is Siddhanta Virud or Rasabhas, it's rejected by Gaudiyas. So the meaning of these poems is not Siddhanta Virud and it's not Rasabhas. I discussed this with my teacher, my guru. He said on the basis of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can accept it as bona fide because it represents our rasa of Gaudiya Vaisnava Sampradaya, and it represents our Siddhanta. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti, I need some fun. Thank you. You always have to look, because when you have drink water in, you always look, because there's always ants and sometimes mosquitoes, ants. If there's a drop of water in the bottom, a mosquito may go down there and drink it and drown. Or an ant may crawl down there because they had some honey. You didn't wash the cup properly. That's some tea or something. You don't wash it. I seen ants. I said, what are you doing there? And I hit it hard on the counter and the ants jump out. And I wash it again. You have to be careful. You don't want to drink ants. Krishna says, I'm going to taste more, not the taste of ants. Rasa
Rasa
Anta Chinta Kunte, Chanti Kunte, Rasa Chanti Kunte. Rasa Asu Kunte means Asu means wine, it tastes of water, I taste of head. So Vishwanath Chakravartipad, Raghunath Das Goswami, they gave a very interesting meaning to meditate on when chanting Hare Krishna mantra. This meaning is anukulya for Manjari Bhav Upasana. Someone is worshipping Radharani in the mood of a Manjari, the mood of a Dasi maidservant, in the mood of a Gopi maidservant of Radharani. So this meaning, every word means Krishna. Hare doesn't mean energy, Hare means Hari. Hari, Krishna means Krishna. So Hari, Krishna, Ram all mean Krishna. So I have this, I'm going to read this, but I'm going to do a little editing because it's some little intimacy here. So I'm going to not speak, I'm going to speak a roundabout way. This is from a collection, it's a book about this thick, about 4 inches thick of Bengali, like 5,000 Bengali bhajans. Bengalis really like the kirtan. This is called Padakalpataru, 4th branch, 5th twig. The 4th branch, 5th twig, 1,678th verse. Bhumipati translated this for me. He's a Bengali Brahmin from Madan. Harinam Art Deepika by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And he wrote an introduction to it. This is attributed to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur because it's in the mood of it's a Siddhanta that he would teach, and it's in the bhav that he represented, and it's in the mood, so it's acceptable. It's acceptable by Anantadas Babaji Maharaj and my Guru Maharaj, and most everyone I know is practicing Raga Marg. In separation from her Priyatam Sham, Srimati Radhika chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. As Srimati absorbs herself in Sham's holy names, she sees her beloved Sham in each name and experiences a pastime. So Nam, Rup, Gun, Leela, right? We're chanting Nam and falling asleep. We're already chanting Nam and experiencing Leela. So she experiences the most unique union with Krishna in separation. Because she's usually Radharani chants Hare Krishna mantra when she's separated from Krishna. In other words, while chanting Hare Krishna mantra, Radhika directly experiences having an amorous affair with her prananath. Her prananath means Shamasundara Krishna. So Hare means Hari. Madhurya Gune Hari Le Ye Nature Mane Mohan Murti Darashe. O Hari, by exhibiting your enchanting form, by showing me your enchanting form, Madhurya Gun, and transcendental sweet qualities, Mohan Murti Darashe. You captivate my eyes and mind. Hari Le Nature Mane. Hari Le nature means I, and Mane means mind. Hari means steal. So Hari means Krishna steals Radharani's heart and mind with his beautiful body, form, and captivating with sweet qualities. So that's Hari, then we chant Hari, then we say Krishna. So what does Krishna mean? Ananda Maha Karshika Tama Tuya Bine Dekitana Pai. Krishna, you are Ananda Dham, Anand Krishna Dham. You're Ananda Dham, your abode of bliss, and your form is absolutely gorgeous. That's a translation of Mahakarshika. Mahakarshika Tami means you're unprecedentedly attractive. Akarshika means karsha means attraction. So it translates, you're absolutely gorgeous. But without your mercy, I can't see you. Tuye bine deki te nepai. Hare, Jai Raja Dari Guru Baya Adhikari Kulera Dharma Kali Chora. Oh Hari, although I try to keep my patience, I'm afraid of my elderly, respectable relatives. I'm afraid of them, you easily smash to pieces. You smash my family prestige to pieces. In other words, Krishna destroys her Kula Dharma with his beautiful form and sweet qualities. So Hare Krishna, that's Hari. Then Krishna. Vamshira Sware Akarshia Ami Bole Dea Gaya Sriti Kaila Dura. Krishna, now you attract me with the sweet melody of your flute. First, Radharani sees Krishna's form in the distance. She's in Yavat, she's looking out the window and sees Krishna's form. And then she starts losing her patience. And Krishna plays his flute. I forget about my body, home, and everything else. Ami Deha Gaya Smriti Kaila Dora. My body and home go far away. So Hare Krishna, Krishna. Karshidami Kanchuli Karshaha Tumi Tadeka Chamaka Mohi. Oh Krishna, you draw me completely towards you, and then you pull my blouse, and I'm struck with wonder. Deki Chamaka Mohi Lagi. Chamaka Mohi. I'm struck with astonishing Chamaka Mohi. Oh Krishna, being very agitated due to your intense attachment to me, you forcibly squeeze me on various pretexts. Hare. Then looking at me with intense longing to enjoy me, you carry me away to a bed of flowers. Hari, then you quickly express the eager desire of your heart. Hare, Hari. Then you do as you wish and break all the shackles of impediments from my heart. There's some editing, censorship for public broadcast. Oh Rama, you fulfill your heart's desire by expertly manifesting a variety of amorous pleasures. That's Hari Rama. Hari Rama, Hari. There's no one more expert than you in breaking others' chastity. Thus, no one has ever been able to resist your advances. Hari Ram. While engaging in amorous affairs, you manifest various symptoms of ecstatic love and submerge in the ocean of your love. Rama. O Rama, best of amorous enjoyers, O beloved Lord of the enjoyed, for your pleasure I completely forget myself. O Rama, I constantly remember the blissful form of yours for which you enjoy intimate pastimes with me. Hare, there's no limit to your attraction. You forever steal my consciousness, overwhelm me with your love. Hari, you steal my heart like an expert lion, because Hari means lion. You steal my heart like an expert lion. I have no one else in this entire world but you. Hare Krishna Maha Mantra Ki Jai. Krishna Chakravarti Thakur Ki Jai. So that's the meaning that we meditate on when we chant Hare Krishna. But sometimes we chant Hare Krishna as if we're sitting next to Radharani and we're trying to break her mood of separation, try to bring Krishna before our mind, before our heart. Because everything the mantra is doing is service to Radharani. So how is your chanting Hare Krishna service to Radharani? You have to meditate on Leela when you're chanting. The Lila, this is the proper Lila to meditate on, because Raghunath Das's meditation is a similar way. When you're chanting, you're thinking, I'm sitting in Yavat Gram next to Radharani's bed, and she's fainted in separation from Krishna, and I'm chanting the Maha Mantra, and I'm playing Veena, I'm playing sweet tune on the Veena. You have to learn Veena. I gave that picture because I wanted to learn Veena. This is my Guru Agya. All the power to do it is in the order of the Guru. You learn Veena and you come and play for Giriraj. Learn Mala Rag and all the favorite ragas of Radharani and favorite ragas of Vishaka. I'll tell you what they are. So, I'm meditating, I'm sitting next to Radharani in my Manjari Srup when I'm chanting japa. And I'm meditating on this meaning and praying, Krishna, please manifest this lila for Radharani's pleasure in my chanting japa. This is how devotees and Ragmarg and Manjari Bhav chant japa. That's where we go. You understand? Something. Any other question? Is there sweets today? You made them? Okay. You together?
Only
She did, okay. More question?
Why Jatila, the mother-in-law of Radharani, was not liking Krishna? Any particular reason?
Nice question. You ask the question again. You hear your voice on the recording.
Why the mother-in-law of Srimati Radharani,
Jatila,
was not liking Krishna?
That's a good question this gentleman asked. Why Jatila, the mother-in-law of Radharani, doesn't like Krishna? Everyone likes Krishna. Everyone in Braj loves Krishna. Except Jatila and Kotila and Abhimanyu. They obviously have a problem. They have a problem. They have some psychological block. They should see a good psychiatrist. They're crazy fellows. Her husband's a crazy fellow, and her mother-in-law and her sister-in-law are crazy girls. If everybody likes someone and you don't like it, means you're the odd one out. So the odd one out means it must be your problem, not everybody else's problem. So she's got a problem. Because she knows how much Radharani goes crazy after Krishna. And that's not right. My daughter-in-law should be crazy after my son, her husband, not crazy after some unmarried playboy. Everyone in Braj, everyone knows that Krishna's a village playboy. He's a village playboy. He's running with some girl here and there. Everyone knows about it. He's the talk of the town. You can never see Krishna without a girl on his arm, you know. So they know, but they never can catch him. He's too expert. Expert thief never gets caught. He's got special power, never gets caught. But Krishna never gets caught. Sometimes Shatila hears that her daughter-in-law is in Radha Kunda enjoying with Krishna. So she comes to Radha Kunda. She comes to, Jatila comes to Radha Kunda looking for her daughter. But her daughter is in Champakalata's Kunj. She's in one Sakhi's Kunja with Krishna. That Kunja, everything's gold in that Kunja. The trees are gold, the earth is gold. So when Krishna's sitting on a throne, you can't see Radharani because she blends in with the background. So Jatila comes busting in. Krishna, someone said that Krishna and Radharani in that Kunja there. So Jatila comes, okay, Radharani, Krishna. Krishna said, wait, what's your problem? What are you doing? I didn't invite you. Get after me. Get after me. Hey, out, down. She doesn't like Krishna. She's also afraid of Krishna. Because he killed Putana, you know. He doesn't have any qualms about killing women. He's 6 years old and he knocked off a woman. He knocked off witches and Jatila's like a second one, you know. Second Jatila. Second Putana, Jatila's the second Putana. So she knows, intuitively, Jatila knows that, you know, she may be number 2 woman on the hit list, you know. A serial murderer, you know, boom, boom, boom. You, this week you, this next week you. We got her, Katila, okay. So, because she can't find Radharani. Just Lalita's there, and Lalita's dangerous, you know. Lalita's very dangerous, very ferocious. Pragalpa, Brahmya Pragar. Brahmya Pragalpa, very bold, very loud, very boisterous, very tough. So she's a little, Jatila is very timid in front of Lalita, you know. So he just sees Lalita and Krishna, all these seconds looking at her like, yeah, it's like, say one tiger comes out to a pack of lions, you know. It's like, the tiger, whoa, it's mine, he runs away, you know. So there's one tiger to deal with, showing up for all these lionesses, you know. There's nothing more fierce than a female lion. They're very dangerous. Don't want to see one. That's the problem with Jatila. If you know any good psychologists, bring one down to Yavatgram. Okay, on a little more serious note now. Someone sent me a question in the email about, they say they're confused about Bhakti, Bhav, and Prem, because these words seem to be used interchangeably. Bhakti, sometimes talking about Bhakti and Bhav and Prem, and just the person doesn't have much time to study so much. So they asked, are they synonyms for the same thing or the same? I said, no, there are different categories of loving attachment and intimacy with Krishna. So I'll explain in Sunday Satsang. So here we go. So Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it's very clearly defined. There's something called Bhakti, and Bhakti has 2 divisions, Vaidhi Sadhana and Raganuga Sadhana. Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti and Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Then there's Bhava Bhakti, and then there's Prema Bhakti. So what's common to all 3? What's common to all 3? Whether you're doing sadhana bhakti or whether you're doing bhava bhakti or doing prema bhakti, common is everyone's worshipping Radha and Krishna. That's common. Everyone's chanting Hari Krishna mantra. That's common. Everyone's worshipping Giriraj. That's common. And everyone's practicing Navavida bhakti. That's common. Shraddha Kirta Vishnu Smarana. Some may be emphasizing more one limb or the other. Maybe in sadhana bhakti there's more hearing and chanting, and bhava bhakti and prema bhakti is more smaran, lila smaran, etc. But there's similarities, but there's distinct definitions of each one. So we'll read them. Rupa Goswami explains what they are. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, first wave, chapter 2, verse 2. Sadhana Bhakti definition. 1, 2, 2. Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhava sadhanabhida nitya siddhasya bhavasya prakatyam sadhyata. Action of the senses. Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya, which produces the stage of bhav, is called sadhana bhakti. This attained state of bhava bhakti is the sadhyata. This bhav is an eternal sthai bhav, which is not created, but simply manifests within the soul by the spiritual mercy and energy of Krishna. So Jiva Goswami, so bhakti is sadhana, bhakti is the simplest definition of bhakti. It's a sadhana which produces bhava. So Jiva Goswami gives a comment. When bhakti is cultivated by actions of the senses, it is called sadhana bhakti. Sadhana is that by which bhava and prema are achieved. Bhakti becomes perfect in the future by an excellent transformation of Samvit and Ladni Shakti of Krishna's Srupa Shakti, which are perfect and eternal. That's why it says Nitya and Siddha. It says Nitya Siddha Bhavasya. Nitya Siddha Bhav. The Nitya means it's eternal, and Siddha means it's perfect. And Nitya Siddha Bhavasya, Vishnu says, this Bhav is eternal and merely manifests or appears in the heart of the devotee as a stage of advancement. The emotions and actions of Bhav are all eternal and spiritual, and their appearance in the future will be accomplished by extraordinary actions and transformations of some of it. He said the same thing as Jiva. So that's now what's Bhava Bhakti? The Bhava Bhakti is defined in 131. First wave, third chapter, which is called Bhava Bhakti, verse 1. Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Sriyam Shu Samya Bhak Ruchi Vish Chitta Masrinya Krita So Bhava Uchate. What is Bhava Bhakti? It is that part of Bhakti, it's an advanced stage of Bhakti, where the essence is Samvit and Ladni Shakti, which is a ray of the sunshine of Prema. Prema Surya Amshu. Amshu means a small bit, a ray. Surya, Prema Surya. It's a ray of the sun of Prema, which will soon rise in the heart, and when it does rise in the heart, it softens the heart with three desires. So when one comes to Bhava Bhakti, he has three desires manifest automatically in the heart, profoundly and deeply. And there's no other desires. Now you say, oh, I have these three desires. But do you have any others? Yeah, I got others. And you don't have these three desires. These three desires, when they arise, all other desires have retired and disappeared. One is, because it says, Chitta Masrinya. Chitta means heart, consciousness, Chitta. And Masrinya means soften. Masrinya means soften. It softens the heart with three desires, and only three desires manifest. Desire to meet Krishna, desire to serve Krishna, and desire to exchange love with Krishna. It's a tremendous softening of the heart. There's a long purport. Describes each one. Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma. Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma. His nature is the nature. The nature is a distinguishing special nature of unadulterated goodness. This is the quality of Baba. The phrase, this is Jiva Goswami has an extensive commentary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's not much commentary on sadhana bhakti. 5 pages of comments. 1, 2, 3. No comments by Vishnu. Jiva said it all. Jiva Goswami has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 page tika explanation of Bhava Bhakti. Each line. So we don't have time to describe all that. You can read this in Bhakti Rasmini. It's in the first way, 1, chapter 3, verse 1. We gave classes on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. They're on my website under a folder called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So all these are there. So now, what is the definition of prema? So sadhana means you're just working with your senses, trying to attain bhav. When you attain bhav, then the bhav is almost like prema. Like the sun starts to rise, first you see rays before you see the sun disk. It gets light, rays, it's time to get up if you're not up already. Sun's coming, rays of light coming through my window. It's like, I get aggressive 11, I go 5 at a time. Sun's coming, adjusting for sunrise, I get up, but these days I'm a little lazy, but I go everywhere, lights already on at 3 o'clock. I know, good example, bad example here. Anyway, so then a whole different world happens. Heart becomes soft. You know all that because from sadhana bhakti to bhava bhakti takes a few lifetimes, generally. It's not like chant Hare Krishna and be happy. First premise is wrong. First premise you start with a lie. Everything lie plus lie equals lie. So you chant Hare Krishna, you don't become happy, you become miserable. They have a card, they give me a card, chant Hare Krishna, you become happy. I chant Hare Krishna, I became miserable. Why I became miserable? Because I chanted Hare Krishna, my mind became pure and still. When my mind became pure and still, I could see clearly who I am, what I am. Oh my God. I'm really full of anger and lust and envy and greed and all kinds of dragons and wishes and alligators swimming around my brain, So this chanting, look at this card, chant me happy. What? I didn't read the other side. One side of the card says chant me happy, the other side says chant me miserable. So now I look at the mantra with that side, okay, chant me miserable. From misery comes joy, Misery, disappointment is the cause of greatest happiness. So misery creates happiness also. I keep chanting that way. So 3 desires: to meet Krishna, serve Krishna, exchange love with him. So prema bhakti. Prema bhakti is just condensed bhava. Samyam mashinito, same word. This is first wave, chapter 4, titled Prema Bhakti, verse 1. Definition of prema. Samyan mashinita swanto mama twati shayantika bhava seva sandratma bude prema nigadyate. When bhava becomes extremely condensed, it is called prema by the learned. So bhava becomes prema very, very quickly. It softens the heart completely, producing extreme possessiveness of Krishna. It makes the devotee extremely attached to Sri Krishna. This is prema. When one desires to love Krishna in one's particular style bhava becomes intensified, it's known as pure love, prema. The extreme softening of the heart. So I made a chart here. The symptom of prema is even when obstacles and impediments are present, there is not the slightest reduction of affection or bhava. One feels deep sense of attachment and possessiveness in relation to Krishna. Krishna thinks deeply and clearly, complete with his mind. Krishna is mine. I own Krishna. Krishna is mine. So I made a chart, differences between bhava and prema. Bhava softens the heart, but prema softens the heart completely and overwhelmingly. In bhava, the heart is softened and produces 3 desires and taste. Desire to attain Krishna, desire to satisfy the desires of Krishna, and desire friendship with Krishna. And prema becomes very super soft. Heart becomes soft by extremely attached in feelings of mindness for Krishna and no one else. This symptom of prema. So you want to meet him, you want to serve him, you want to love him, but moreover, there's no one else in your life but Krishna. Mindness, there's no one else but Krishna. So prema is very condensed state of bhava and bliss. Samsara possessiveness, extreme possessiveness towards Krishna. I want to experience the highest state of bliss in bhajan of Krishna. Now, there's another thing here. Where's that thing? Yeah, it's there. Thank you. That's there. It's page 40. Now there's 6 characteristics of bhakti. Do you know what the 6 characteristics of bhakti are? There's 2 characteristics. You're doing sadhana bhakti, yes? Yes. Yes? Hope so, trying. So what are the 2 characteristics of what you're doing? Kleshagni Shubhada. Can you speak English, please? Kleshagni, the 2 symptoms of sadhana bhakti, vaidhi sadhana, raganuga sadhana, there's 2 symptoms of that. 2 experiences of the sadhaka. What are they? Kleshagni, what does it mean?
Freedom, destroying.
Removal of anarthas. All the bad things in me come out. Klesh is bad stuff. Anarthas, all the badness in me comes out. All the greed and anger, lust, all comes out, and that's why we feel miserable. It makes us feel miserable, because when you get your tooth pulled, it hurts, So what Kleshagni is pulling all your teeth out. Pulling your teeth while your anarthas out of your heart, Ow! Ow! I saw a cartoon when I was a kid. It's a funny thing. It was called Alfalfa, the Little Rascals. The cartoon was called Little Rascals. It was sort of silent movies, There was no soundtrack. So one kid had a toothache. His friend was pretending to be a dentist. So they're all kids in the movies, and the kids, all the actors are kids, child actors. So there's a sign, it had a big smile on the sign. It said dentist office. Big page smile. It said dentist office. Inside was a chair with a mirror there, and the dentist was saying. So the guy went and said, "What's wrong?" It was all silent. So I got a toothache. Okay, no problem. So then he opened it up, and he had like a rope or something, little rope, and you put a tie a rope, and then he went over to the door of the office. He opened the door and tied the rope on the door, and then he slammed the door real fast. He pulled the tooth out by slamming the door. It was so funny. It was a crazy cartoon. So that's like Kleshagni. Pulling out the anarthas. Tie a rope around your anarthas, tie the rope to the door handle, slam the door. Well, calm, crow, they all go, calm goes out, crow goes out, no. What happened to all your teeth? You lost all your teeth? No, calm anymore, no calm, no crow, no more. Calm, crow, no more, it's all gone, no gone. Hey, you lost all your nerves, you can't talk anymore. So that's called Kleshagni. The moral of the story is Kleshagni. Sadhana bhakti destroys the Klesh. What's the other thing?
Shubhada.
Shubhada means it gives auspiciousness, makes everything fortunate. What's the 2 symptoms of Bhava Bhakti?
Moksha.
Well,
Sudurlabha Moksha Laguta Krit.
Moksha Laguta Krit and Sudurlabha. Moksha means when you get Baba for Krishna, you don't care about liberation or anything. You don't want to go back to Godhead. You don't care. You're so happy in Baba. You take birth after birth in the material world, you're no problem because you know you're going to be with Krishna. You're sure you're with Krishna now. You're going to disappear all of a sudden. He's eternal. You're eternal. You're not going to disappear. He's not going to disappear. And your Samana is not going to disappear. You'll be born again wherever, Alaska, Russia, Siberia, whatever. Hopefully Radha Kunda, that'd be more preferable. And the bhakti will keep rolling on. Keep having Sunday satsang classes and, just keep going on. So that's auspicious. I mean, you don't care about going back to God. Moksha Laguta Krit. What does Lord Chaitanya say about this? Moksha Laguta Krit. Well, Lord Chaitanya also says the same thing. He also describes Bhava Bhakti. In Shikshastra, he describes Bhava Bhakti. What's the sin of Bhava Bhakti? Nadana Janana Sundariam Kavidam Bhava Jagadishkami Mama Janana. If I take birth after birth, I don't care. Because I'm in Bhav. I don't care. I don't want men, women, ladies, gents, money, anything. I have Krishna, I have everything. What else you need? Nothing. So what's the other thing? Sudurlabha. I thought that was hard. Hare Krishna and take prasad and get Bhav. Yeah, that's part of it. That's a big part of it, but doesn't maybe not have it overnight. So it's very rare. What are the two senses of prema?
Sandrananda Visheshatma.
Sandra Atma Visheshatma. The Atma becomes a Sandra. Sandra means very deep, concentrated, condensed. Anand, condensed, concentrated bliss. The Atma becomes full, condensed, concentrated bliss. Hare Krishna will be blissful. Transcendental meditation will make you blissful. Sandra-atma, Visheshatma. Very special. Sri Krishna's Karshani. You attract Krishna and Srimati Radharani. Sri means Radharani, Krishna means Krishna. So this is prema. Prema attracts Krishna and controls Krishna. And prema attracts Radharani and controls Radharani. So this is a discussion of what is the difference between bhakti, bhav, and prema. Try Radha. What time?
5:49.
5:49. 22 seconds. Any questions? Yes, Bole.
Is Krishna attracted to the devotee even before the stage of prema?
Is what?
Is Krishna attracted to the devotee even before the
Attracted
stage
to the devotees?
Like we just heard how prema is Sri Krishna Akarsha.
Yeah, well, that is attracting. You see him eye to eye. You have Saksha Darshan. You have Swurti Viswurti Saksha Darshan, the level of prema. Even Bobby, you have some Swurtis. Is Krishna attracted to all devotees. So you start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna pays attention to you. Otherwise, how are you making any progress? Krishna doesn't say, you attain prema and I surrender to you. He says, you surrender to me, I surrender to you. 4:11 Gita, Yayatama Prapajante. You surrender to me, we surrender to Krishna and Guru. So Krishna, okay, good deal. I told you to surrender to Guru and you surrendered. Okay, so I'm with you. That's Krishna's order. Tavidi Pranipatena Pariprashana is 4:34 Gita. Try to learn about me by surrendering to Guru. Pranipatena, do surrender, do Dandavat pranams, surrender, ask questions, do Bhakti Bhajan. And Krishna comes running to see who this is. Devotees are very rare. What is that? Mukti. Koti, this verse from Bhagavata, Muktir, no. Let's read that verse. Narayana, Prayana.
Narayana Paranaya Surdurlabam Prashantatma Kodishwari Mahanidhi.
Yeah, Narayana, is that Bhagavatam?
This Lord Shiva says.
4th canto? Sixth canto. Yeah, Chitraketu story. Narayana Prayana. The devotees of Narayana are very rare and they're always blissful. Yeah, and then Koti, he said, there's 1 out of a million. There are 1 out of a million devotees of Narayana. 1 out of a billion. They're very rare. Find a shoot bhakti is even rarer still. But everyone's different levels, different. Krishna loves every devotee, cares for every devotee. If Krishna, if somebody doesn't water the plant, it doesn't grow. So how are we growing? Who's watering us? Who's watering us? Krishna's watering us. We're growing. See my flowers? Soon there'll be fruits. So we grow by the mercy of Krishna. We're thinking of him, he's thinking of us. Should I say that in Russian? Good. Okay, Radha 5:52.
I have a question about...
Wait, official time.
5:53.
5:53, okay.
A question about bhav. What we heard right now, and if you look at this verse, Atha Shaktis Tato Bhavas, Tato Prema Abhyundanchati. First is bhav and then comes prem. But then there is a gradual, or let's say, different stages of prem. That is man.
That's not in this body. Not in this body.
You speak about the bhav in this body, or what?
Bhav is in this body, you take prem. That's the threshold of prem.
So there are 2 different bhavs.
No. There's Bhava Bhakti, and there's sadhana begins. Ados sadhana bhajana kriya, anartha nirvati, tata sakti, nishta sakti, bhava, and prema. That's it. We come to the beginning of prema. The body can't tolerate anything more than that. We give up the body because the prema, all the prabdha karma is gone. There's no prabdha karma, there's no material body. When the prabdha karma is gone, the material body is gone, then you go to Krishna, go to Vaikuntha, go to Krishna Loka. And there in the Siddhanta, the spiritual body, Sarup, in your Siddha Sarup, or what they call Siddhanta, there in that body, in that pure body made of Bhava Deha, you can experience and develop 7 higher levels of prema. So there's 16 steps to perfection. 9 is a sadhaka and 7 as a siddha. So the ultimate perfection in Madhurya Rati is 16 steps. 16 steps to perfection. It's true. It's true. So 9 is the first, from Shraddha to Prema is 9. And then Sneha, Man, Pranaya, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav, 7. So that's in the spiritual world. First we go to Bhoma Vrindavan, we take birth in Bhoma Vrindavan for a woman of a gopi and Krishna's Prakat Leela, manifest pastimes, just like here 5,000 years ago. Then we meet Lita Vishaka, we meet our Guru Saki and Rati Mantri and Vishaka and other mantris. They teach us all different experiences and Tayyabhavas and attitudes and mentalities and responses of Sneha Man Pranaya. Then we can understand all those prema expressions of Radharani and serve her as sister in those different stages of her loving relationship with Krishna.
So this first bhav mentioned here before Prem is like in Sadhya.
Yeah, so prema is also
and the
sadhya.
other bhav is in our Sita Deha.
Excuse me?
The other bhav, which is the
the level of prema is.
That is our Sita Deha.
Yeah.
Mahabhav.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, sometimes a confusion. People get confused. Bhav.
Yeah.
So one bhav is a stage of bhakti. It's just a stage of bhakti with different siddhas. It's not the perfectional stage. The other bhav is a perfectional stage. It's a perfectional level of prema, very high level of prema. Because it's at the level, because it's after anurag is bhav. It's very high stage. Only mantris and gopis can experience that bhav. There's Ruda bhav and there's Adi Ruda bhav, and Adi Ruda bhav is Madan and Madanakya Mahabhav. So all that is for Radharani and the gopis. Even queens of Dwarka experience Ruda bhav. Like explained in the 90th chapter of 10th canto, the queens of Dwarka, Mahishis of Dwarka, they're splashing water like Jalakeli with Dwarkadish in a swimming pool. In some kind of royal pool thing. And then Krishna disappears, and then they don't find Krishna, he disappears from them. So they start crying, all the gopis start crying, all the queens of Dwarka start crying in separation. It's called Mahishi Gita. It's a group of 12 verses in chapter 90 where the Mahishis are crying. And the Tikas of Ishali says these queens are exhibiting Ruda Mahabhav. Ruda is very elementary form of Mahabhav. But you can't experience any Mahabhav. No Mahabhav is impossible, only for gopis of Vrindavan, especially Radharani. Some other question? Yeah, question. Baba?
My mind was still thinking about that. I don't have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
It was a wonderful answer. I was still drumming on it.
Still spinning on the answer. Yeah, Deepakji.
In Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Sanatana Goswami gives various categories of devotees. He goes, Narad Muni goes from one place to another place to find out who is the devotee.
Yeah.
And so there, Anandas Babaji's commentary, he wrote, there are three categories like Sadharani, Samanjasa and Siddha, Swayam Siddha. Like in Mathura there is one lady with Kubja. She
Sadharani Rati.
Sadharani.
So what's the question? I know, I know all this stuff.
That means there it's written like they are looking for the sense gratification.
Excuse me?
Kubja is more interested in her pleasure.
Yeah.
Means even in that level, will it be like there is a mixture of I didn't get it.
His question is even at that level, devotees are interested in sense pleasure.
He's asking a question, even at the level of prema, there's desires for pleasure. Yeah. He's citing an example of Kuja. Kuja is described as one of the three examples of Madhura Rati, amorous love, amorous or conjugal love for Krishna. So her love is called Sadharani. Sadharani means ordinary, commonplace, regular love, because her love was mixed with her personal desire to enjoy. She was ugly and Krishna made her beautiful, and she became lusty to enjoy Krishna. But it's called prema because she didn't want to offer herself to anybody else but Krishna. Her object of focus was only Krishna and Krishna alone. She had mamata for Krishna. She had a siddhanta prema, mamata. Only wanted Krishna. But she wanted to enjoy Krishna. She said, Krishna, come to my house right now. I said, well, wait a minute. I'm from like Howard Way to Main Street. I'll see you later. I'll give me a rain check on this one. So he came later and visited her. So that's ordinary. Then the queen of Dwarka is Samanjasa. Samanjasa means I want some pleasure for myself. I want to give mostly pleasure to you, but I want a little pleasure for myself. So the queens of Dwarka, they have a little bit of desire for their own pleasure. And the gopis are Samartha Rati. They are loving attachment to Krishna. Loving attachment to Krishna is all for his benefit. Art means benefit. All complete benefit for you. So that's the purest form of love. Selfless love. When Rupa Goswami describes in Bhakti-rasa Sindhu, there's two kinds of devotee, two kinds of prema bhaktis. One is called Premotara, one's called Premotara, and one's called Sevotara. They're both devotees go to Vaikuntha or even Goloka. There's Premotara and Prema Sevotara. So one, he has prem, but he just wants to be with Vishnu, wants to be there, but doesn't have desire to serve, he wants to enjoy being there. He's a prema bhakta, but he has some desires for personal enjoyment. It's even described in Bhakti-rasa called Premotara and Sevotara. But one is a prema bhakta, he wants to serve, that's a better one. Because Salokya Mukti is Premotara, Sharsti Mukti is Premotara, Srubi Mukti is Premotara. You have the same form, you have the same opulence, or the same planet as Vishnu or Krishna, but you don't want to do anything, you say you just want to be there. But it's the object is Vishnu, so it's prema, and you qualify because you have all the symptoms of qualification of prema. But it's described, it sounds unbelievable, it doesn't want to do service. Like some devotees in the temple, I just want to hang out and eat more prasad. Can't get away with that here, you can get away with it in Vaikuntha. You can there's a category of prema where you can get prema and go to Vaikuntha and not do service. So there's a way out for people that want to be lazy in the temple. They have to work hard to get prema. So there's even room for personal enjoyment. Have prema and have personal enjoyment also. It's described. I'll describe more about this next week, actually. I'll make a note of it and describe more next week. I'll get to look up the exact terms. So Prema Uttara, and Sevotara, something like that. Okay, I think that's it. 6 o'clock. Because now it's Jewel and Yatra. Giraj is Jewel and Radharani is Jewel. And Radharani's over here waiting for Giraj. Giraj is late. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe.